guys, it's Sam from Raggedy Bits. Welcome back to another week of Waste Not Wednesday. I hope everybody is having an absolutely fabulous week. If you're new to the page, I love to upcycle old things and make them new again, and I hope in some way I inspire you as well to do so too. So if you're seeing the little red live button at the top there, that means you're watching me live. If you're not, that means you're probably watching the replay. So don't forget to comment #replay and just let me know where you're tuning in from and say g'day, because I always love to go back after each tutorial and have a little sneaky peek at who's been on, who's popped in and where you're tuning in from. All right, guys, so I'll just quickly recap what we did last week. We worked on these two little birds. Before I do that, I'm just going to set up my technical things so that if you decide that you would like the supply list of what I use for tonight's project, you're more than welcome to just comment link in the comments, and a little message button will pop up. And that will just then, if you just accept that it's okay for me to send you a message, then you'll just get the full supply list of all the goodies that I used tonight. Okay, so last week we worked on this cute little set of birds, which we used the IOD rose chintz inlay. We painted them in the Dixie Belle silk cactus, and this is what they turned out like. I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything to them after I jumped off. I think we pretty much completed this project, so there wasn't much for me to do, but that's the two of them. They're very cute. So that's what we worked on. Let me just put these on the shelf. That's what we worked on last week. They look a bit cute sitting on that tray that we're doing for a workshop this weekend. Okay, let me say hello to everybody. Hey there, Margaret, how you going? Hope you're keeping well and warm. Hey there, Dale, nice to see you. I hope everybody's having a lovely Wednesday so far. The weeks are just hooning by. And before I do start, thank you so much for everybody who has sent happy birthday messages or posted on my page. I really appreciate it. It was a big birthday, so I still can't believe it, but I think I'm okay with it now. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. It's just like another day, really. Hey there, Joy. How you going, lovely? Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a good week so far. All right, so tonight what we're going to be working on, I went over, did a little bit of a thrift shop in Debbie's booth here in the Emporium, and I found this old urn, which I've been eyeballing off for a little while now, and I thought we could do something fun with it. So we're going to be using this. I've got this little it's like a little fluted thrifted cake tin, fluted cake tin. Hi there, Tanya, how you going? Did you draw? I'm not doing it every week, Tanya. I'm going to be doing it once a month. I'd love to be able to do it every week, but I'm going to do it maybe once or twice a month. I'll just see. So each week I'm just going to keep adding your beautiful names to the drawer. So I've got that all set up here, ready to go again tonight. And then I'll draw it. But you'll get a notification from me if you do happen to win, or I'll also post it on my Facebook group. On my Facebook page. Get it right. And I've also got this little birdhouse. Like, as cute as it is, that design is not for me, so I'm going to just sort of jazz that up a little bit. And I think I've left my, oh no I didn't. And we're also going to be using, and you guys are going to have to help me choose, the Raggedy Bits Antiquities Printable, which I shared the beautiful Carol's project that she did using this print, and I've printed this printable out onto just an A4 piece of printer paper, but I've elected for there to be 2 copies per page. So I think they were, I can't remember how, I think they're an 8x10 size, I think. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But I just changed the printer settings so that I could get 2 on one page so that it will fit nicely on front of my birdhouse. And then I've also got the French menu, which you can help me choose this a little later, either this one or that one. Hey there, Kathy, how you going, lovely? Hi, Carla. Hope you guys are all keeping super duper well and behaving yourselves, or not behaving yourselves. All right, so let's get started. So my idea, this again could go pear-shaped, but we're going to work on doing something a little bit like this. I know, and I've got some. Oh, sorry, I've also got some of this stuff here, the Spanish moss, which has got a hole in the bottom of the bag, so that's always handy. So I'm unsure at the moment whether or not I want to keep the sort of tarnished look of the bottom, or whether or not I paint it. So what I thought I would do is start off with the little birdhouse, and then we'll work on the base after we've done this. I'm just going to move that over there and grab some baking paper, and I'm going to remove, hopefully in one tear, I'm going to take off that the existing printable, because I don't, that's really annoying me. You need to go under there, and you need to come around here. Right. So I don't have to peel it off, but I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. So those who are new to tuning in, every week I'm going to set my timer to just go off at random times. And if I see your name, no, go away. Where am I? If I see your name pop up on my screen, it might be a little bit different to your screen. You'll go in the draw for a box of goodies from me. And as I just mentioned to Tanya just before, I'm planning on sending maybe 1 or 2 a month. We'll just see how we go. I'd love to be able to send it out every week, but yeah. I'm not a millionaire as much as I wish I was. Okay, let me find my clock, which is right there. So I'm going to start the timer, or the stopwatch. No, the timer. Just for a random time. So if I see your name pop up at whatever that time is, you'll go in the draw. And if you happen to sprinkle this with your crafty friends, you go into the draw. You get an extra entry into the draw, if that made sense. I'm sorry if it didn't. All right, so let's get on and remove this. So hopefully I'll be able to just peel it off, and I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to wet it a little bit and see if that will help, or it's just going to make it worse. But I just don't want the brightness of the colors of the paper that's already on here coming up underneath the printables that we're going to use. So I'm hoping this seems to be working. So I've just sprayed that with just a little bit of water from my mister. It's going to leave a little bit of residue behind, but I'm not really worried about that, because we're just going to basically go straight over the top of it with another printable that will sort of fit in with what we're doing tonight. Hey there, Marie. Hey, I'm doing really well, thank you. 50 and fabulous is what all my cards keep telling me. I'm 50 and I'm fabulous. So I'll let you know in a couple of months if I still feel the same. But no, it was a really lovely night, spending it with family and friends. I was a little bit apprehensive, I guess, going out, because I was just like, oh, I don't really want to go out, but we had such a beautiful night. Yeah, that's not going to work. And I had some friends come up all the way from Melbourne, and like, it was just a nice little evening. And I don't know about you guys, the weather was insane. Like, we were right on the water, literally across the harbour from the Opera House, and I was walking around in short sleeve, and I didn't feel cold. It was bizarre. It was so strange. It was a really weird night, but then I think that was because then we had all that, like it was the next day, I think, we had all that rain. So it was just too warm. It was bizarre. And I remember, like, we walked, because hubby kindly booked a hotel, and we walked across to the quay, and by the time I got there, I had to, like, strip off, not all the way, but I had to take all my jacket off. I was like, I'm melting. I'm going to see if the scraper will just take off a bit of that paper. If not, I'm going to have to sand it off. It's a little bit easier because it's wet, it's damp. It has been so cold down here in Tassie. We had -4 this week. Ooh, that is chilly. It's been very pleasant here today in North Richmond, which is good. So, yeah, it's weird weather. Considering previously it's just been absolutely freezing. Okay, so that was just a notification on my phone, not the alarm. Okay, I'm going to just see if I can sand some of this off. This will probably clog up my my sander because it's wet. That's not really doing anything either. Might just give it a little bit more of a spray. Thank you for the stars, Tanya. That's so very sweet of you. Thank you. Just see, work that into that last little bit. Because, I mean, we're going to paint it anyway, so... I mean, some of you are probably thinking, why on earth am I taking off that design and then putting something else on? This is just not my cup of tea. It's cute, but I love more vintage, farmhousey kind of look. But you could most definitely leave it as is. I found this Birdhouse at the reject shop. They were getting rid of them, and I think they were like $1 each or something. So I thought, yes, you can come home with me. We'll do something with you. I recently did, I think it was in the DIY Surprise Craft Box. I should go grab it so I can show you what we did with some printables inside the group. That turned out really cute. Sorry, girls, I probably should have taken this off before I started. But we will get on to the fun stuff in a minute. But, I mean, you've got to go through these steps, I guess, to get to the end result, right? It's meant to be the coldest we have had for a while. Yes, I do agree. But the random weather that we had over the weekend and even today is just, it's weird. Yes, Carla, they are a pain to get off. I don't like them. I could use my electric sander, but I don't want to hurt your ears. But as I said, I'm not looking for like all the paper off and getting it back to the MDF. And I've also got to be careful that I don't spray this too much and it starts to affect the wood underneath. So, but we're almost there. Looks like a bit of a hot mess at the moment, but hopefully what we're going to do will look all right. Okay. It's actually a little bit easier to scrape all that residue off when it is a little bit damper. I've not thought of trying this. I've tried heat before. But the water actually helps get rid of the rest of it, like once you've got the main part of the sticker off. So there you go, girls. We've learnt something tonight. Guys and girls, I'm sorry. I'm actually working up a bit of a sweat. It's hot. Which is weird for in here. It has been chilly inside the Emporium though today, that's for sure. But beautiful outside. All right, I think I'm happy with that. I'll just smooth it out with my sandpaper. I will dry it off a little bit because I don't want to clog up my sandpaper too much. So what have you guys been making since we last chatted? Have you been making anything fun? But I do have to say it was a very hard birthday because it was my first birthday without my dad. So that was tough. I kept getting a little bit teary through the night, but it was nice. It was a nice evening. Okay, I'm just going to sand this back now so that I get a nice flat. I can't sort of like feel the paper from the sticker, and I'll hold up what it's looking like. You spun the wool, Kathy. That's so awesome. That's amazing. You'll have to show me one. That's so cool. And that's like the perfect craft to be doing in this cold weather. Okay, so that's what we're looking like, a hot mess. So you could even, you know, turn it around and turn it into like a little bit of a shadow box if you wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to be using the Artisan Cafe Au Lait, which is like a beigey, creamy sort of color. Does anyone know where I can get some cow serviettes, napkins from? I'm having a hard time to find some. Try the good old Temu, Tanya, if you haven't tried there, or even, oh, that's Carla going into the drawer for a box of goodies. Congratulations, Carla. It's okay, I just had a mind blank and could not spell. So I'm just going to quickly reset this again to go off in a little bit. So don't forget, if I see your comment first, you'll go into the drawer. Okay. All right, so yes, I'm just using the Artisan paint in the color Cafe Au Lait, which is sort of like a bony, creamy sort of color. It's not white, but I like it because I'm going to be probably grubbying everything up anyway. I'm happy with how the lid looks. So it's sort of like a Temu. That's funny, Belinda. Yes, Temu. Try the Temu. I'm sorry, Belinda, did I say hello to you before? My apologies if I didn't see you pop on. And I'm just going to give that and the side, and I've got to be careful when I go up underneath the little roof because I don't want to get the paint up on the little eave part. Oh, sounds like it's raining. Okay, so I'm going to give this just, I'll probably give it another coat just so I get a nice flat finish. But while I'm doing that, you guys can choose which printable shall we go with. Shall we go with the Antiquities? Just leave a comment if you'd like to help me choose. Antiquities or French Menu? Which one would you like us to use? You've tried, but they don't have what you want. And you want to get from Australia. Well, that's going to be tricky, Tanya. Because, what am I doing? You got to dry it first, Sam. Because, yeah. Let me have a think about it. Maybe try Amazon. So we've got Antiquities menu, Antiquities, Antiquities, Antiquities. Antiquities. Hey there, Gail. Thanks for tuning in. You missed the boring part, Gail. We just, ooh, look at that. We just basically took the sticker off the front of this little birdhouse, which I got from the reject shop for $1 because they must have been getting rid of them. But we're going to just give it a little bit of a transformation because that's what we do. And I'm just painting the birdhouse in Artisan Cafe au lait, which is a chalk paint. But you could use any acrylic paint, of course. This is just because this is the paint that I've got on board. Hey there, Kayleen. Thanks for tuning in, lovely. I hope you're keeping well. It's nice to see you back. And I hope everything's going okay for you. Okay, just going to dry that off. There you go. Tanya, Belinda says there's some cute Highland cow napkins on Amazon. And usually, and don't forget, Amazon Prime's coming up. Prime Day thingamajiggy's coming up soon. So you can get some really good bargains on Amazon. I think I'm going to have to give it another coat. It's a little bit... Although we're doing a printable, so no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Excuse me while I just talk to myself and sort it out. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm pretty sure that the winning printable was Antiquities. One, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Antiquities. What's that about the Amazon sale? So every year, that's not Antiquities. Amazon has it's what's called Prime Day or Prime. Just Amazon. It's like a they just put lots of things on sale. So be careful when you go on there because you want to spend up big. And you can get some really, really good bargains. So I'm just going to cut this out so that it's a little bit more easier to put on the birdhouse. And use this one in another project. And then I'm just going to get it as high as I can and in the middle because we've got a line that goes straight down the middle. Figure out where the bottom is and just put like a crease in it just so I know where that is. And then I'm going to just use my fingers to go across the top. Sorry, my fingernails just to put a crease in across the top because I'll probably end up adding a little bit of wax and good stuff. Yeah, Carla, like it's always, you know, it's a good time to just have a little look at, you know, if there's things that you've been sort of eyeing off on Amazon. Like, it's a good time to buy them because they're some, not all that you may be like keeping in your basket, but the majority of things are on sale and they're like really dirt cheap. And I think they also do like free shipping and all this crazy stuff. Like it's really good. Okay, so that's what our little house is going to look like in a minute. Gail, come on, we all need something. Us crafty people can never have enough, can we? It's like today I opened up a cupboard and everything fell out and I was like, oh my Lord, I do not need any more. I think it was like all my knick-knacky stuff for Christmas, because I'm hoping to do a Christmas in July. You know, like last year we did a 5-day Christmas in July challenge. I'm hoping to do the same again this year, and I was just sort of looking through all my Christmas stuff, and I was like, definitely don't need any Christmas stuff. But then, you know, I'll see something, and then I'll be like, yeah, no, you're getting in my basket. Oh dear. But you just never know when you're going to need it. Okay, so I'm just using the Dixie Belle Clear Coat in flat to apply my printable. And I'm going on pretty thick. But you can use Mod Podge. And if you would like the list of the products that I'm using tonight, or the supply list, just comment link, and it will take you to where the printable is, and all the other goodies that we're going to use tonight. So I've just started at the top, and then I'm just going to peel this back, and I'm going to go down the bottom as well. And if you're just tuning in, I changed my printer settings so that I could print 2 of the printables on one page, if that makes sense. So if you were just to print it out as it is, it would be one full A4 page. But I changed it so that it fit to the page, if that makes sense. And this is just on plain computer paper. It's not on anything special. And I've just done it on my inkjet printer. Can't speak. Too many champagnes on the weekend. No, it wasn't that bad. I was well behaved. Okay, so that's what we're looking like. So the printable's on, and see how that's the crease sitting at the bottom of the birdie house. I'm then just going to grab my little gator. So for those who didn't want to buy this little gator sponge on, sander on Temu, if you go and get it on Prime Day, it'll probably be on sale. But this is my little gator sander. And I'm just going to go away from the printable. Just excuse me for a minute. I really need to take my puffer jacket off. I'm really hot. This is going to... I've got one heater next to me, which is weird, but I feel really, really hot. And I don't want to pass out on you guys. Okay, that's better. That would be funny. Pass out in the middle of Waste Not Wednesday. Actually, no, it wouldn't. Because I'm locked in here all by myself. And hubby's away. So that could be, yeah, no, that's not even funny. I take that back. That's not funny. Okay. So I was just moving away from the printable, I think I was saying. And there we have. And I've got no crinkles at this stage, but if you did happen to get some crinkles, how cute is that? How sweet is that? Just pop some baking paper over the top of your printable and iron it out with a steamless iron. Don't use steam because otherwise you'll mess it all up. All right, so now that we've done that, let me grab Debbie's little urn and let me see what this is starting to look like and whether or not I'm going to actually paint the urn, and you guys can help me. So do you see where I'm going with this? This obviously is sticking out at the moment, but I'm going to hide that. No passing out. No. I'm going to hide this little tin here. You won't be able to see this. It'll be underneath all the Spanish moss. So I think, what do you reckon, guys? Should we leave it or should we paint it? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Should we leave it or paint it? Leave it or paint it? I'm going to get on and do some waxing around the edges of my printable just to grubby that up and give it a bit of do you know what? I've left all of my brushes over at the sink. Surely I gotta have one brush somewhere. Just an old brush. Come on, come on. I'm gonna borrow you. Leave it. Leave it, don't paint it. Looks like it's not brass, Gail. I don't know what it's definitely not brass, but it doesn't feel, it's not heavy. But you guys have said don't paint it. I'll leave it. I'll not touch it. I just leave it. All right, so I'm just going to dot some of the wax around the outside, which is just going to add just a little bit of depth. Hopefully add some depth. Just do a little, couple of little smudgies across the front of it, just to, I'll hold it up when I'm done. I'm not exactly using the right wax brush. I'm using a flat brush because I've left all my brushes over near the sink. Tiana Banana, who was in yesterday, cleaned all my brushes for me, which I was so grateful for, and I've completely forgotten to grab them all, but that's okay. There's only like 45,000 other brushes here that I can use. But you know when you just got your favorite brushes to do things? So I don't know if that's showing up, but see how I just added a little bit there, added a little bit there. The wax is just, it's an antiquing wax, which is, this one's artisan, but any of the Fusion, Dixie Belle, any of those dark waxes that you've got on hand will do the trick, Dale. I promise. It's beautiful, Sam. If I send you a picture of a cow I want, could you do a printable for me? It would all depend, Tanya, on whether or not the image is copyrighted. So if the image is got like a copyright on it, I wouldn't do that because I could get into deep trouble. Okay, Gail, you're going in the draw for a box of goodies. Congratulations. Okay, getting a nice little list together. So I'll just quickly change this again. Quickly. And don't forget, if you sprinkle the video, the tutorial with your crafty friends, you also get an extra little drawer. And then I will draw that and let everybody know. I'm giving away 2 boxes at a time. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do 2 boxes. So that's that. I've just sort of smudged around the edges just to grubby it up a little bit. There's no copyright on them. Okay. Well, you can send it through and see, because it'll also depend too on the image quality, as long as, you know, like it's a certain dots per inch and things like that. I'll just send it through and I'll see what I can do. Okay, all right, so I'm going to just pop this little birdhouse over to one side now. We're going to start working on this guy, this little urn, which I found in Debbie's shop, little booth. She's got some great goodies in her booth that you can find. Okay, so I've also got some florist foam, but I kind of, it's not going to, because I think it's going to be best. I want this to sit on top of it so that I can glue it and it's not going to move around. But I feel like if I just try and ram this whole thing in, it's going to be too high. So I'm just going to chop off a little bit with my tiny little craft knife. Do I have my, this one might be better. We'll try this one instead. So I'm just going to take a little slither off the end. This is going to get messy, but it's not going to be as messy, I think, as what the Spanish moss is going to be like. Sorry guys, that urn's in the way. So I'm just like basically cutting off a little tiny weeny bit. Need to lengthen my blade so I can get in the middle. I think I'm going to have to also take a bit off, tiny weeny bit off the side. I found this, if you're wondering, I found this florist foam on Amazon. It came in a pack of 3, I think. Or 4 maybe. Let's see if I can just chuck it around. If I chopped off enough. Definitely not. I didn't allow for the bottom. Anyway, it fits nice and snugly on the sides, but not so much on the top. You bet. Old bread knife, that would be so much better than what I'm doing right now, but anyway. And now that's too... Are you kidding me? I'll cut... You know what I'll do? I'll bring it out a little bit. Because that's jammed in. I just want to make sure that that's just not going to... Because it doesn't quite sit properly, but I want to make sure that it's not going to wobble anywhere for that to sit on. Does that make sense? Yep. All right, so I'm happy with that. Put that away before I damage myself. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my new glue gun. Look how beautiful and sparkly and new he is. I ended up going with the Bosch again because it's been the most faithful all these years. Come on. I may even, actually, before I do that, I'm going to pop some E6000 in as well so that I've got a little bit more coverage, because we know that the hot glue gun does not like metal, tin. I've obviously put the lid on and a little bit's come out, so it's blocked. Excellent. I just don't seem to have any luck with glue anymore. It either just doesn't work in the glue gun, or let me see if that works. There we go. Now we have some glue. So I'm just going to put a few dobs along, dabs, dobs, blobs, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it would be easier to do on the inside of these. That's definitely not coming out like it normally does. I saw a pin. There was a pin. "12 hours later." We'll get there, girls. We'll get there. And guys, we'll get there. I'm determined. All right, I think that's enough. So I've just put a little bit of that E6000 on. Just gonna wipe that off before I put the lid back on. And then I'm gonna do the same with the glue, but I'm gonna go on a little bit more heavy. And I'm going to turn this upside down and rest it on top of the flower foam, flower foam, florist foam. And then just hold that a little bit till it cools down, so I know that it's actually stuck. Will I just send it through to the group site where we show what we've made? If you want to just message it through to me, Tanya, that's probably the better way of doing it, so that I can then download it and put it through my program and stuff like that, and see what, like, if it's pixelated and all that sort of stuff that I use when I do all my graphics. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, just through my business page is fine, and then we can go from there. Okay. All right, so that's not going anywhere. So I might just have to turn this around so it's facing me. It's not straight. It's like, can you guys see that? It's definitely not, the actual urn is not straight. You can see it. Can you guys see that at the bottom? So this is not going to be a straight birdhouse, but I don't care. It adds more charm. So I'm going to just have this facing me for a little bit while I work out where I'm going to put my Spanish moss and make a big mess. I'm going to probably have to use a fair bit to cover up the black tin, but we'll see how we go. Oh, leaves. So I've kind of like just turned it into a little bit of a nest. Maybe this is too much, but we'll see how we go. And then I can always go round and fill it in with all this stuff that has gone all over the table. And then just build on where I need to. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Don't want the big leaves. All right, I'm going to start on this side, and I'm just going to start attaching the moss. So you wouldn't even know what's underneath. I do love the patina on the urn. She was a bit grubby when I grabbed her off the shelf, but I've given her a really good clean with the Dixie Belle White Lightning, and she's come up well, come up nicely. I'm just working my way around till I get to where I started. Okay. That is Tanya going in the drawer, lovely. Congratulations. Going in the drawer for a box of goodies. You love, I know, I love this moss too, Tanya. It just, I don't know, just like adds a little something. Gee, we burnt through that glue stick in a hurry. Just adds a little something, something. And it's great for hiding things too. Stand up. Oh, got to reset the clock. We are good to go. All right, let me just have a look around each. A little bit tricky to see with the light shining straight on my face. But I can always come back and fill in the gaps off screen if I have missed any. And we can also give it like a little bit of a haircut too if we need to. But that's what we're looking like so far. Sorry, Carla. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. All right, but that's looking good. It's nice and compact. And then we're just going to nestle the little birdhouse, and then we can always build more moss if we need it, but we'll see. I'm kind of thinking, what do you think? Does the birdhouse, like that's not straight, but I'm going to fix that. Do you think that we should, it needs either like a little bow or something? You know how I love my bows. I'm just going to pop this back. I think I've got enough moss there at the minute. Security. That's definitely not straight. Poor urn. Do you know what it reminds me of? The little Chip and his mum out of Beauty and the Beast. We've got that little slant to them. So cute. Bow. Needs something, it doesn't it? It's just not. Or I did also think too, I think this mold's going to be a little bit too big. Could also put a mold on here as well, but I think that mold is too, what do you guys think? The little birdie mold. That's my fingers are in the way. Yes, I think poor Ernie has been dropped. He's definitely got the tilt happening. Maybe move that forward just a little bit. I'm really struggling to see, guys. That's really bad. Let's play around with some ribbon. Because I think if you put like a messy bow at the top, you're going to lose all the beautiful printable on there. You like the bird mold? It teams with the theme. Yes, absolutely. Let me grab my big, I think I'll see if I've got some smaller molds. Please hold. And I won't keep you all night like trying to, I'm pretty sure I've got some littler birds. That bird's way too big. Or maybe I don't. Those are the same. Oh, here's a little one. Ooh. That's a littler bird. Maybe that one. You like the bird? Okay. I'll just move this urn out of the way for a minute. Okay, you guys are gonna have to help me out. Do we go small bird or do we go big bird? Not literally big bird, but the bigger bird. The little one, yes. Kathy says the little one. I'm kind of thinking the little one too. So she looks like she's flying up the Duvalaki, up the wreath, or down it. Small. We're going small, girls. We're going small. Hey, give me some. Okay, I'm just going to paint it in the Cafe au Lait, same colour as I did behind the printable. Which is just a chalk paint, as I mentioned. And then I think we'll grubby it up like we have done in the past with our molds, just with some wax. Okay, I'm just gonna dry that off. Faux for colour on moss. It's a good idea. I feel like we're going to need some pink just to bring out the flowers. Okay, I'm just going to give that little birdie another coat because I can still see some of the white from the resin. And if this little mold comes from the IOD Birdsong mold, if you haven't seen it before, it's got all different sizes of birds, like that one. There's also big giant ones, but you've probably seen me use it a few times because I really love this mold. Okay, so that's what the little birdie's looking like so far. Super cute. Okay, I'm not going to put the bird on just yet for placement until we have a little play around with the, I just ate half of that. Play around with the bow. Hopefully I've got some pink. I've got some lace. Always got lace. I love my lace. Because I wasn't quite sure which direction we were going to go in, so I didn't grab a lot of ribbon. There's some pink. Do some pink. Probably just the usual suspects, I would say, that we always use. Do we want? I feel like that's going to be too big. And we might even put in some raffia. I'm just going to grab my Bodabra, I think. Let's see what I've got here. I have some music music ribbon as well. Maybe we might put a little bit of that in, but I'm just going to grab my Bodabra because I think I'm going to make one of those loopy doopy bows. I don't know why I keep putting the Bodabra away because I keep pulling it out. You're going to make a quick cup of tea. Sounds good, Tanya. You think a calico bow would look good? Yes, that would look nice too. Do I have any? No. All right, I'm going to just quickly rustle up a bow. I always get this around the wrong way. It's that way. Okay, I'm going to layer down some lace first. I'm going to keep it fairly short, I think, because I don't want it to sort of obviously overtake the printable. Need this as a visual. I'm just going on with the lace first. See if I can get another one down. Kind of getting a little bit shorter as I'm going towards the center. What do you think, guys? Am I on the right track or am I going way off track? I need to put you in some water. Cover you up. I love this velvet ribbon, so pretty. Margaret, you're going in the drawer for a box of goodies. Congratulations. Thank you, Carla. Just restart this again. I kind of think that just one of the pink will be enough because it's got the, it looks cute at the back. Where's my raffia? Did I put you away? No, I'm gonna even see, actually no, because it's the wrong coloring. I always see bows with this in it. I want to see what this looks like. It might be too much, which I can always pull it out, but I just want to try it because I haven't done it before. Oh, I'm gonna have to get another bag. That's really bad. I'm gonna make a mess. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this. I should have actually put this in up. I'm gonna put this behind, if I can, the pink. Just to give it a little bit of something. We'll see how we go. This might turn out pear-shaped, but anyway. Do I need a bit more? Yes, I need a bit more. Have you guys tried it with the Spanish moss in your bows before? I can always cut it out if it looks ridiculous. So this is going to be a really tiny little music bow. Hang on, am I getting this around the right way? flip it around the other way so that we can see the music of on the ribbon. This is going to get really fiddly, but hopefully we'll be able to make it work. Okay. All right. The moment of truth. No, but sounds interesting. I've seen it in a couple of tutorials that my American friends, blogging friends do, and I love it. I love the effect that it does, and I'm like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Not with that bit though. It's just so messy, but it's so effective. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out now. I shouldn't have tied a knot on that because it's not flat enough. Just gonna wrap that around the center a couple of times, and then I'll zhuzh it around, and then I'll hold it up for you so you can have a look. Obviously, the smaller the bow you go, the more fiddlier it is, but the larger the bow, it's a little bit more manageable. Just chop off these extra bits. I don't know, and I'm going to fluff it around a bit. Where are you supposed to be? Okay. So that's what our little bow, messy bow is looking like. It looks really cute. Looks really cute. That's a little bit short on that end. Don't know what happened there, but anyway. All right, let's see what we're looking like. I think I'm going to just glue this into place a little bit more. I'll just pick which side is going to be the front, even though she's wobbly about there. So I'm just going to glue this on quickly so it's in place. Just hold that for a minute. Thank you, Joy. Hopefully this is making contact a little bit. I probably should have just like moved some of the Spanish moss out of the way so that I got full contact on top of the tin, which I didn't do. But you can tell, like, ooh, that's wobbly. So I probably will, but I'll do this off screen. I'm going to probably have to pull some of that Spanish moss back a little bit so that I can make sure, because this is going into the shop. This will be going into the shop or my website. So I want to make sure that it's going to, you know, if it gets posted or whatever, I don't want it to be coming off. So if I have to, if it's not sturdy enough, I will sort of like separate that Spanish moss a little bit and then glue it onto the tin part. I may even use some E6000. Okay. But she's definitely crooked. Look how crooked she looks. It looks like the Mad Hatter's tea party. It's so cute. All right. So we need where's Birdie gone? Birdie. We need to be able to put our bow on, which I'm kind of thinking maybe there. I'll spin this around in a little bit, because it's all about the placement. Okay, what do you guys think? So what I'm thinking is birdie here, somewhere along here, where my finger is. You might be able to pin it down. Yes, that's a good idea, Belinda. Thank you for the suggestion. And then I was thinking that the bow sort of goes on the side of the urn, because I think if we take it up here, we're gonna lose it. But just there, sitting on the edge, I don't know if you guys can see that. What do you think? Let me know. I'm going to add in, while you guys are telling me what you think, I'm going to add, probably need to just trim that back a bit. Get rid of that bit. I like the bow with the Spanish moss in it. What do you guys think? You all guys, you think so? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, why did I put my wax brush back? Okay, I'm gonna have to find another brush. No, not that one. That's a good one. I'm gonna use this one. Just gonna grab some wax, and I'm just gonna highlight our birdie. I'm gonna probably go in a little bit, like with a lot, because I really want to bring out the detail of these beautiful molds. And have you guys heard the news that the new release of IOD is happening soon? I'm so excited. I'm not going to waste another chuck, so I'll just use this one. So I'm just going to wipe some of that wax back and then reapply if I need to. Which I did. Okay, so that's what our little birdie's looking like. How cute, except she's got a hair growing out of her chin. Apparently that happens a lot when you turn 52, I've been told. Don't worry, girls, it's already been happening for me. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stick that onto our birdhouse with some hot glue that is getting all over my table. Oopsie. I will spin this around once I've got it on. Carla, it's been happening for a while. It's like, you know, I think, oh, got hair on my face, and then I'm like, oh no, that's actually stuck to my face. I'm like mortified. Where did that come from? The joys. Oh, the stuff us girls have to go through, I tell you. All right. Okay, I'm just going to sit that on the edge of the urn. But how cute would this look sitting like on an entry, like on a hall table or something? So cute. I feel like you need to have a haircut again. You're a little bit too long. That didn't stick. Gross. Yep, that's what's gonna have to happen, Joy. It is what it is, right? No, I think we're gonna need some E6000 for that, because that is definitely not sticking to the urn. It's sticking to the moss fine, but not to the urn. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on there. And then add just a little bit more glue so I get that quick. Okay. Just chop this off. I don't know, I was thinking maybe some, I don't know, these flowers are probably too big. I have some really pretty hydrangeas. I thought maybe I could stick some hydrangeas in back behind the bow. Let me see. Or is it going to get too busy? Don't want it to be too busy. I just pulled that off. So annoying. Yeah, the glue's definitely struggling on the urn. And because I'm faffing about, I just pulled it off again. I'm so going to burn my finger in a minute. Okay, before I touch it, I'm going to turn that around. What do you guys think? Does it need anything else? Nice on a hall table. Yes, it would be. It would be. And even like some little fairy lights or like a little flicker light sitting in the back here. I mean, I know you wouldn't really see it, but if it was like sitting up against the wall, it would like light up a little bit. I reckon that would look super cute. Let me just see what, I don't know. I think I haven't started pulling one of these apart yet, but I'm about to. I feel like that's going to just be too much. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Margaret. Yes, lights. I agree. I don't know, guys. I think this is one of these things where I'm going to have to walk away and maybe come back and have a little faff tomorrow. Just give a little bit of a haircut. Not too much. Or I just leave it as is. I could probably just dress the lid of the, actually I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to also just add a little bit of wax to this. I forgot to do the side of the birdhouse. Just to give that a little bit of aginess. Wooden button on the bow, that would look nice. I'll have to go in search of those. But yeah, I could definitely play around with that idea, Marie. Thank you. It's a good idea. Just to grab that up a little bit. I'm definitely not using the right wax brush. Flat brush doesn't do it for me. It's not going on nicely. Like you don't sort of get the same sort of like stippling sort of effect. But anyway, that'll teach me to be organized and have my brushes next to me for next week. The front edge of the roof needs a little something, little something. You love it. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. I don't think it needs anything else. Yes, a wooden button would set it off. I don't think I've got any here. I've only got these little white buttons. But we can always have a look. There's one in here that kind of looks, no it doesn't. It doesn't look anything like a wooden button, Sam. Probably a little bit too white. I've got a brown one. You can see what the brown tanny one looks like. But I won't stick anything on. Oh, that's a bit cute. There's a little flower button. That might be cute. Oh, yes. What do you guys reckon? I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but how cute does that look? with a little button. I think we just found our button. Sorry, Marie. I think the wood one would look nice, but I feel like this just kind of like blends in nicely with the pink felt on the bow. Yes. Yes, that one. We have button bingo. Yay. I can always take it off if I change my mind in the morning and go with a wooden button. But I just really feel like that kind of like ties it all together with the flowers in the printable. It's bringing the flower down to the bow. Belinda, you get to go in the draw. Congratulations. For a box of goodies from me. Vignette back. Yes, but I kind of assume that this will be sitting up against a wall. I mean, if you're going to put it on a table, down the center of your table, you could always put something in behind it. Like even, you know, have like like I've got these little tiny white ceramic birds at home. You could sit some of those in the back of it so that if it is sort of, you know, you've not got a wall behind you, then at least then there's something. Or you could put, as I mentioned, a little flicker light tea candle. There's plenty that you could do. But yeah, looks cute as is. Thanks, guys. Coffee table, yes, yeah, or even on your coffee table, yeah, absolutely. You could put something behind it. You could put another printable behind there if you wanted to. You could put that in the back of it so that it's, I know that's not done very well, but you could get a visual of what I mean. You could put the same printable behind and grubby it up a little bit if you wanted to. All right, guys, well, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I'll reassess in the morning to see if I need to do anything else to it. Or you could even, Margaret, if you wanted to put some flowers behind it. I mean, I don't know what that will look like. You could even stick some flowers into it if you wanted to, as Belinda mentioned, with florist wire. You could do anything. Absolutely anything. You love it? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for keeping me company this evening. I will take a photo of this and get it on my page tomorrow so you can actually see what it looks like. Close up. But you guys have an awesome week. Thank you so much for keeping me company. And I hope you've enjoyed tonight's project. Just a sprig of hydrangea at the back would be cute. Yes, it did look really cute. I'll show you what it looked like. Hang on. Belinda, I'll show you exactly what it looked like. I'm not going to take that off. Yeah, I am. I'm going to pull it off because I'm always putting them into things. Man, making a mess. Fluff it up a little bit. Just so you can sort of, like, I probably even need to cut off a little bit more. Bend it. It needs some faffing around, but maybe even kind of like chop it back a little bit, but it looks cute. Like, and then you've got sort of like, oh, you might be something. Like then you've also got like the flowers coming through at the sides, which kind of adds, like it needs to be, like I need to probably trim it back a little bit more. But then you sort of got like the flowers coming out of the side. Can you see, guys, see that? Like you could do anything just to fill that gap in. I'm jamming that in there. But yeah, all right, guys, I'll reassess in the morning and take a photo for you so you can have a look and tell me what you think. All right, guys, you take care. Hope you have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week for Waste Not Wednesday. Congratulations to everyone who went into the draw tonight for tonight's the box of goodies. I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I draw it on my Facebook page. Needs a creamy cauliflower. You think so, Tanya? Yeah, it does work. It definitely does work. Like if I sort of spruce that out a little bit and you had them sort of like, see how they're peeking out? It looks a bit cute. Or even, yeah, I don't know. We'll play around. All right, guys, you take care and I will see you next week. Bye.